Let's talk about 1995's Major Payne, directed by Nick Castle, starring Damon Wayans at the height of his comedic power. He just finished 4 years on In Living Color.
All right, kids. I'm Homie the Clown. Y'all ready to have some fun?
And Nick Castle, we know him at this time as The Shape in John Carpenter's Halloween movies. But interesting thing about Nick Castle, by this time he has carved his career as a family film director. He directed Last Starfighter, and the year before this, he directed the Dennis the Menace adaptation, which was a huge hit at theater. But going back to Major Payne, I remember when the film came out. I was working at Colony Cinema, and I finished my shift, and I wanted to see Outbreak. I love Dustin Hoffman, and it came out 2 weeks prior, and I finally had a chance to go see it. And so I'm sitting in the theater, I have my popcorn, I have my soda, and I am riveted. I am riveted. I am at the edge of my seat. I want to know if they're going to get this damn monkey. Like, I want to know if they're going to get this monkey. But this is the thing. Every 5 to 10 minutes, we are interrupted by the roarous laughter coming from the theater next to us. And you know what movie is playing? Major Payne. The laughter is so loud that people in the theater are getting up out of their seats and complaining about the laughter pouring into our theater.
Hunger for blood. Hell, I'm just plain old hungry.
I have to confess, I was one of them. I was one of them, actually. But after I finished Outbreak, I went to the next screening of Major Payne, and I had a better time at the theater. I laughed my ass off. And so, like, Major Payne was marketed as Bad News Bears in military boots. But as I'm watching this movie, I am realizing how subversive this movie is. Like, this movie isn't just like a dumb family comedy. Like, at the time, you had films dealing with Vietnam veterans assimilating back into society. You had Oliver Stone's Vietnam trilogy, you had Platoon, you had 4th of July, and Born on the 4th of July, you had the underrated Heaven and Earth. Major Payne is a family comedy about a military service member dealing with PTSD. He is having flashbacks in the movie. He is fighting Viet Cong during daydreams. This man is a traumatized soldier. But you are laughing your ass off. And so Major Payne is a very underrated, very subversive comedy, for the time. Now, I would argue that Major Payne had a greater effect than Cimino's Deer Hunter, any of Oliver Stone's Vietnam films, regarding the conversation of how we need to treat military servicemen and women in the post-Vietnam Gulf War era.